Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you a website that I have been using for homework for my students. So a couple months ago, I made a video about using WordWall for homework. And I loved WordWall. I was using it for every student in every class. But then, all of a sudden, randomly, it just stopped working for my students. I would send them the link, they would click on the link, and it would look like it was loading, but it just would not load for them. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's something that WordWall changed that made it more difficult for loading, or I don't know if it's something with my students' internet, but literally every single student within a week period were no longer able to access the WordWall links. I was devastated by this because I love the WordWall homework. My students enjoyed it, the parents enjoyed it, and they were really easy to make. And then I could save everything and reuse them over and over and over again. So now all that work I did is now down the drain. I still like WordWall. I still use it for review for my classes, but I just could not use it for homework anymore because it doesn't work. I even contacted WordWall and emailed them, but I never got anything resolved. And I'm scared to try it again because then I'm just going to waste more of my time. So because that stopped working, I started looking at alternatives. I was looking for an interactive homework option where I could just send the link, the student could complete it, and I was able to see the results. There were some options out there. I tested them all out, and unfortunately, I would find one that I really liked. It would work for some of my students, but then other students, they would send me a picture that showed it just wasn't wanting to load. I know a lot of people use the live worksheets, and I did use that in the past, and that did seem to work with all of my students, but I just honestly wasn't a fan of it because unless you're able to find a worksheet that's already created for you, which I often just couldn't find anything that fit what I was doing with my students because a lot of my homework are very specific skills that that specific student needed work on or were specific to a lesson. So I wasn't able to find a pre-made worksheet. And for me, it took way too long to have to first create a worksheet in one program, then upload it and make it interactive on the live worksheets. But I know some people do use that and it is a great option. But this is what I found for my students. I've tested it with every student now and cross my fingers that this continues. But right now, it works for all of my students that are in China. Nobody has complained about any issues with it loading. So again, cross my fingers that it doesn't stop working like WordWall did. The only negative to this website is I cannot see how the student did on the homework. So I can't see which ones they got correct. I can't see even the score that they got, how many they got correct or wrong out of the total. But I can see if they completed it, and it's interactive. So it's a little bit more fun for the student to complete. So here it is. This is the website. It is called LearningApps.org. So this video, I'm just going to give you a brief overview of the website, show you some of the homework assignments that I have created for my students, but I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty details of creating the homework assignments. If there's anybody that is interested in using Learning Apps and wants me to make more videos about how to create the assignments, I would be more than happy to do that because some of them are a little tricky to figure out exactly what to put in which box to make the answers pop up. It can get a little tricky, so if you want me to make those videos, I would be happy to. So first of all, what is this website and how much does it cost? Well, it is free, which is excellent. No money needed, but I do encourage you to donate if you start using this because it is a free website, and we all know it costs money to keep websites up and running. So if you want this website to stay up and running, I highly suggest you do make a donation every once in a while if you do want to use this and continue using it in the future. So here you can click to learn more about what Learning Apps is. And you'll notice there's a lot of information that looks like in a different language because I believe they are from Germany. But don't worry, everything here is in English, and you can actually select your language up here. So of course, you're going to want to click on the British flag for English. It doesn't have an American English. The only thing that's really going to affect would be if you use the audio option. That will affect just the accent. It's still going to be in English, but it's going to have a British accent. So here you have Browse Apps. Just like with the live worksheets, you can search for pre-made activities or pre-made homework assignments. So you can choose a category or you can do a search. So let's do like colors. If I type in colors, it's going to give me a bunch of pre-made, so other people like me have made these homework assignments, these activities, and you can take a look and use them if you want to find a pre-made one. But I haven't even looked at this yet because I'm very picky about how I make my homework assignments, so I tend to just make my own. And then over here, you have Create App. So this is where you would create the homework assignment. They're called apps. So there's lots of different options. You can see matching pairs, group assignment, which is kind of like a sorting, number line, order, free text input. A lot of my students are young, so I try to avoid anything that requires them to type in an answer. I've only used the ones where there's like multiple choice or drop down for them to choose an answer. An image where they can click on and select what it's pointing to, multiple choice, closed text, and then some more game type activities down here. I haven't used all of them yet, but I'll show you again, like I said, the ones that I have created so far. So I'm going to log in and I'll show you some of the activities that I've created. So here it changes to My Stuff. So My Stuff is right here. So down here is where you can create folders, just like on WordWall, where you can create folders to put your activities in to keep them organized. And so I have level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then when I create an activity, I just add it to my folder. That way, if I use that activity again for another student, it's easy for me to find it. And then up here is going to be where you can track the homework you've sent. And I'll show that in just a second. So first, let's take a look at some activities that I've made. So here's a level 1. So this was an activity for can or cannot group assignment. And here you can see it has 2 categories and the student drags to the correct answer. It can fly, it can fly, it can fly, it cannot fly. Very simple task, really good for those younger students. And you probably cannot hear it, but when I click on this top part, it actually says the sentence for them. And I added that option. You can add an audio option to most activities here. And like I said, it is in a British accent, but not a big deal. I still like having that audio option. You cannot record your own audio. You can only use the audio that is built into the program. So I can do this, sort it, and then the student can check to see if they got them all correct. Okay, so let's take a look at another activity. Matching pairs. This one is always excellent for a lot of different types of activities, vocabulary, phonics. So here they're matching the picture to the word, and you won't be able to hear it again, but if I click on this I, it reads the word for them. I usually only add audio for my really young students that I don't really want them to be able to read the word. I just want them to be able to know that this is a book. So I want them to be able to hear it if they need to, if they're not able to read it themselves. And then fly and read. And then again, they can check to see if they got them correct. And if they make a mistake, they can click to separate them. So really easy activity to make. So let's look at another one. My level 2, this is the image, which is excellent for certain types of activities. So like they're learning about the parts of a classroom. So I was able to add these little tags, and then I added the picture myself. And then when they click on the tag, they have the option to click on what it is. And again, they can check to see if they got the answer correct. Let's see if I have another type of activity that's matching guess the word. So this is kind of like hangman. But I like that they have a flower instead of a hangman, which is always good for our students. We don't need them to hang a man in their activity. So here they have to choose the letters. If they get the wrong letter, it just takes a petal from the flower. And then they click, click, and you can add more than one, so it goes to the next round. And then it has the next one. I'm just gonna click, 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 click. So of course they could just click a bunch of different things, but I think my students enjoy doing activities like this. So they can go through that. And I think those are the main, oh no, I've done closed text. Let me find a closed text. That's most likely a higher level. I probably should have looked through this before. All right, multiple choice is another one that is excellent. So here I have a picture that they're going to use for their multiple choice. And I like they can click on the picture to see. The pencil is next to the bear. Let's see. Oh, yes. They click yes. And it tells them right away if they got it correct. The clock is next to the ball. Let's say if I got that wrong, it would give them a little sad face, and then they can choose the correct answer. So this is good for having that immediate response. That way, if they got it wrong, they could see right away, and they could make a different answer and see if they can get it correct. Of course, there's only 2 answers here, but if there was more than one, they get a second chance. And like I said, I cannot see if they got any wrong, unfortunately, but it's still a great practice for them. So let me go back, and I really want to find a closed text. Let's see if I could find one. Level 3, I think I have one in here. Multiple choice, matching, matching. No, I do not. Level 5. Here we go, closed text. So here was for and since. So here it's kind of like filling in a missing word in a sentence. Choose the correct word to complete the sentences. I've been a teacher for or since 5 years, and then they can choose the answer. So these are all excellent activities for our students to practice. And I'll show you what it looks like if they get one wrong. We've had a dog for January, for 3 weeks, since Monday. And it tells them again, since I'm not able to check their work, it's good for them to immediately see which one they got correct, and then they can fix their answer. So that immediate right or wrong is very helpful for them to do at home, and for their parents, if they're with them, to help see which ones they got incorrect. So that's the activities that I have used so far. And now let me show you how I send these for homework. So once I've created the activities, I can click on Create Collection. When I click on this collection, I can then name the collection, and I always name it my student's name. So like Kendall's homework and the date. So today is 9/11. And then you choose the apps. And I like this because instead of like WordWall, I had to send a link for every single activity. If I wanted them to do 2 or 3 for homework, I would have to send them a different link for each one. But with this, I can choose multiple activities and just send it all in one link. So let's say I want to do this one, and this one. I select those, and then unlock apps in sequence. That just means they have to do it 1, 2, 3, or I just let them do it in any order. It doesn't matter to me. And then track work status. This I check because I want to see if they completed their homework or if they did not. Allow, create, or add new apps. No. And then I can select a background image if I wanted to. If it was a theme, I can select an image to go in the background, but not necessary. Feedback optional, description optional. And then I'm going to click Save Collection. And then you will see what they see when they open the link. They will open it and it'll look like this, and they will have the 3 activities that they can click on and complete for their homework. Click on that, they can complete it. Yes, click on this one, complete it, and so on. And the link for the collection is right here. So if I copy this link and I open it in a new tab, you will see exactly what they see. Here's my screen. This could be a picture if I added a picture, and then they have their boxes. Register. They don't have to click on this register because it will have them do it at the end. Oh, I don't want to do this one because that's going to take too long. Let me do an easy one. Let's do this one. So I have read, book, and fly. And then when they are done, it'll pop up automatically for them to type in their name. Okay, and then they can go back, and now it shows that they completed just that one, and then they have to click on each of these. And now it's automatically saved their name in here, but they could click register at first to enter their name, but they could do it either way. So now let's see how I can see what they have completed. So now I'm going to go back to my stuff, and then I can see here Kendall's homework 9/11. You'll see here it says 1, because that's one student. And I click on it, now I can see what's been completed. I could see that 1 has been completed out of 3, and I can see this is the one that's been completed. These 2 have not been completed yet. Again, I can click on this, but it's not going to show me that they got them correct, how long it took, any of that information. It's only going to show you what's been completed. So I could see my students all down here. I could see only 3 have completed their homework so far. And I can click to see, oh, both of his have been completed, or 1 has been completed, and George has completed both of his activities. The one thing that I was a little confused about were these eyeballs. So you will see 1 for each person that has opened the activity or seen the activity. So 1 will automatically be you. Even if you didn't copy and paste like I did, just creating the activity, you viewed the activities. So, but it's delayed by about 24 hours. So I will see a 1 here tomorrow showing that I looked at the activity. So then once the student views it, then the next day I would see a 2 to show I've seen it and the student. This one has a 3, which means most likely that student opened it, maybe closed it, and then opened it again to complete the other activities. So it just shows you if it's been viewed. So you might see, well, it's been viewed 2 times, but my student hasn't completed it. That'll give you some information that they looked at it, but they haven't completed the activity. And then here we can edit the collection. You can make a copy of the collection and delete the collection. Once I see that my student has completed it, I simply delete the collection. I don't need it anymore. So I'm going to delete, and I'm going to delete, and delete. Deleting the collection does not delete any of the activities. It only deletes the collection you made with them together for that student. I still have all my activities saved down here in my folders that I can use again and again and again, and I don't have to recreate them. So I really like this homework option. My students seem to enjoy it. It's great practice. I know some people don't do homework, and that's completely fine. But for me, since I don't see these students every day, I think it is essential for them to have some practice between classes so they don't forget this information, especially if you're only teaching a student once a week. Twice a week, it's a little bit easier for them to recall that information, but I think homework is very, very important for our students, and a lot of my parents want this homework. I think I only have, at about 20 students, I only have 1 that rarely completes their homework. The rest always are on top of their homework, get them completed every single week. So again, if you have any questions or you want me to show you how to create one of these activities for homework that I showed you or one that I didn't show you, let me know and I can make a video walking you through the steps to create that homework and send them to your student. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Have a good day. Bye everyone.